Welcome to the Fortcast. This is Antoinette Dockery, and you're watching Citizens of Fortitude.
Drop.
Nailed it.
Nice. Hard part's over.
Crushed it.
That was hard.
The hard part's over.
Yeah,
The
all
rest
downhill
is
from here.
easy. Antoinette, so pumped that you're here.
Thank you. I'm actually happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Dan,
Good. Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy you're here too.
Oh, thanks, Kyle. I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that, man. I'm happy you're here.
Thanks.
I'm happy we're all here.
We're all in it together.
Yeah. I didn't tell you this before. Antoinette is an absolute gym favorite. Everyone who trains with you loves training with you. You're a great training partner. You bring great energy to the community. So we're excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know
You
that.
bring the room up.
Yeah.
Everybody's glad you're there.
Absolutely
As a
true.
trainer for many years, I will admit there are some people that you walk through the door and you're just like, yes,
Yeah.
she's here.
Thank you.
And there are other people, they walk through the door and it's like,
We will be
Okay.
naming those people on the next podcast. Stay tuned.
we'll get through this. And I believe I've seen people go from the people that it's like, oh, they're here, into the people that are, yes. They're here. People evolve, they change. But you're absolutely a fan favorite. Everybody loves you in the gym.
Thank
We
you.
really
Yeah.
appreciate the energy that you bring and make every session valuable and enjoyable
Thank
for all
you.
the people that are in the room.
Thank you.
For sure.
And you don't even live here.
I don't. I live in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, tell us how that happened.
Okay, so what got me to New York is actually my cousin Quincy, who's always been a part of every fitness journey I've tried, and I've tried a lot. But I hadn't seen him in 2 years because of the pandemic, and we would always do Friendsgiving. So I made sure I came out. And
Is Quincy from Arizona as well, originally?
Yeah, so we're both from Illinois, and then we
Okay.
went to school in Arizona, and we ended up staying in Arizona.
Cool.
Yeah. And then with each promotion that he's got, he's moved around.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So
Land-
So
in New
you
York.
just came
Yes.
to visit for did you
I was
come
only-
for an extended visit?
no,
or
I came for
was it-
Friendsgiving. I was supposed to leave the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know why. I had a morning flight the day after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, but
Wow.
and then I ended up staying. I went home for a week and I came back Christmas Day, and then I've been here since Christmas Day
Yeah.
Amazing.
of last year. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when Quincy first reached out about you being here, and he's like, I'd like to buy a 3-pack for my cousin because she'll be here for a couple of days. And then it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling.
Yes. So he knew that I had started changing my life for the better.
Had
in
that
terms-
started before you came out?
Yes, before I came out.
Cool.
I had a severe knee pain. I had, previous trainers. I've tried every single gym in Tucson. Since 2004, I've tried to, really try to listen.
It's been a process.
It's been a 25
it's been a
year,
journey.
but I never once did I ever become content with being unhealthy. I've always loved myself, like always. Like I've never looked at myself and disliked anything that I saw. Like I'm not one of those people.
Not a self-pity or...
No,
yeah.
never. But I knew I wanted health, not from an aesthetic
Yeah.
vision, but just more because I was actually experiencing pain, and then also my mobility, like things that I could normally do, I couldn't do because my weight had just increased so much. Like there was one point I had gained 60 pounds in 1 year, and my doctor, she was just like, Antoinette, you can't do this. But luckily, I never had high blood pressure. I never had diabetes. I never had any of the normal health complications that would come with someone that was 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Which was a blessing. Even moving. I was never a lazy person, always working. But just for some reason, food was always a comfort
Yeah.
for me. And
Was it like growing up?
whew.
Yeah.
So, and that's what Quincy talks about as well. And I'll mention Quincy so much because he's my cousin, but he's my brother. He's my best
like
friend.
your training partner.
He's
Yeah,
everything.
He's with you.
He's
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
From the first time I ran my first mile, and I actually fell in a ditch with him, but he got me to run my first mile when we were in
Wow.
college, when we first started college.
Amazing.
He jokes that there was always a fifth element to me starting some exercise routine, like whether it's a diet pill, any extreme, new trainers, new gym, just awful. But going back to like you asked about childhood, there's just so much scarcity. My mom was a single parent. There were times we didn't have food, like a lot. And I didn't realize that I took that into adult life, but like there were times where there was nothing. Like I was like drinking cups of sugar.
Whoa.
It's amazing I have teeth.
Right.
It's amazing I'm not diabetic.
So it's like it's ingrained, that scarcity mindset of like when food's available, like
Hoarding
take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it might not always be there.
Right. Yeah. So it actually, I took that into adult life with binge eating. So with all the scarcity, not just, with food, sometimes lights, we always had a home, but there were times when you didn't know because my mom, and I didn't know back then, but my mom really struggled with depression. And then again, having kids, had her first kid at 20 and then me at 22. It was rough. It was really rough. But also that's why I'm so independent, because of all that struggle. And also when I was able to provide for myself, I overdid it. So I would overeat. I would overstock the refrigerator, overstock the freezer, even house supplies. Like during the pandemic, I didn't worry about toilet paper or anything because it's all there.
So like now, are you actively working on habits and behaviors?
Yes.
Or like what's the approach sort of dealing with it now?
Yes. So
with the because you have great perspective on it. It's like you see it all very clearly.
Yes.
And you see where you're at right now.
Yes. And that's what I did. I changed my perspective.
Yeah.
That scarcity, it's something that shaped me, but it also it's something that helped me grow as a person. I changed my perspective about eating. Like I eat to satisfy myself, but not overindulge. When I feel like I want something, I actually choose more nutritious things.
Yeah.
So I'll still sometimes catch myself ordering like candy or, even bad food, but I won't eat it. So I haven't completely changed, but just those small steps to
that's a huge
progress.
Yeah, your ability to intervene.
Yes.
Like even after you've ordered it or after you've purchased it.
Yes.
And you consciously step in between and break that cycle.
Yes.
That's
and
cool.
Once upon a time, I would try to do that. I would throw away food, but I would go into the trash can and get it.
Yeah. And do you see it as like a destination or like a journey practice?
This is a journey.
Yeah.
There's no destination for me.
Yeah. It's not like you'll get to a place and then all of a sudden you'll be
health
arrived.
It's health and continuation of that for the rest of my life. That's what it is.
It's a cool way to think about anything because then you're just every day is practice.
Yes.
Without feeling the anxiety of like whether you've arrived or not. There is no arriving.
Right.
And it's more like, are you practicing today? What are you practicing right now?
And and I teeter between what I want. Like, do I see myself as the shredded, which I do have that idea.
Yeah.
Like the shredded, beautiful, beautiful now as well. But I mean, just seeing if I can accomplish that. And then also teetering between just a healthier version of my curvy self. you know? But I do want to explore what it would feel like to have, those muscles.
Well, you wouldn't be in the gym.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, you've taken up strength training pretty seriously.
I love it.
Do you train every day?
6 days.
6 days a week.
So the goal is 5 days.
Yeah.
But I wrote to myself, your ability is 6 days. I mean, really it's 7 days.
Yeah.
But but I like 6 days a week.
Amazing.
I still have yet to complete a full 4-week program.
Okay.
But that's my goal before I go back to Arizona. But this session that we just started, I had to leave for Illinois. So I still haven't got the full 4 weeks. But
you said you've done a lot of stuff before coming to New York and getting started in the strength training. Has your experience that you've taken up like since Thanksgiving been different than what you've done before?
It's incredibly different. I have never in my life wanted to work out every single day.
What do you think is the difference? What do you attribute it?
To me, the variety in the workouts, the execution, the efficacy of it is just, it's unbelievable how it just works. Like, I haven't seen my body change in this way. The enjoyment I get, the small progress, those steps, I stepped 5 times. The first time I got here.
The steps up into the gym.
Into the engine room, yes.
Yeah.
5 times before I could get up the stairs. Now I can take 6 flights of stairs when the elevator is down.
That's
no
amazing.
problem.
That's cool.
So to me, I don't look at it as weight loss. It's literally just a small thing.
I look at it. It's something. It's a byproduct.
Yes, I look at it as, can I get up off the floor?
Yeah.
September last year, I couldn't. I was at my grandmother's house. I had to move my mom from Illinois to Arizona, and I was so sore from, my mom she didn't go help. Again, she struggles with a lot of mental health issues. But I was so tired from all the moving, and I couldn't get off my grandmother's floor, and I had to crawl over to the fireplace and try to lift myself up. But again, that's how severe my weight had got. So.
Yeah, but you've actively worked toward self-improvement, developing, setting a target, having a vision of the person you want to be, and the behaviors and actions and lifestyle and approach.
Yes.
And you're growing into it.
And investing in yourself.
Yeah.
That is a big proponent. I mean, if we can spend money on clothes, shoes, anything, like for me, like health, and without health, you don't have anything else. And I did do it backwards, which is part of my story as well. Like, I needed to financially get myself in a better place. And then second, I wanted health. And then third, I was like career. And then fourth, partner, family, all that stuff. But really, it's just, health is everything. Everything.
What are you focused on like right now in your health or in your training, or like what motivates you today? Like, you're working out later today?
Yes, I do. So I'm going to.
Yeah. So going into your session, like what's been on your mind lately?
Just taking care of myself. Again, I know we talked about changing your perspective, but for me, protecting your peace.
Yeah.
My dad actually passed away last Monday, and it's so interesting how you come full circle to a lot of trauma in your life and stuff. But I got really sick while I was in Illinois from all the toxicity, the environment. To shed a little light, like there's 16 of us. 16. Yes.
Wow. Kids?
16 kids that my dad had, yes.
Wow.
From an evolutionary standpoint, great, whatever. But no, 16 of us. But
wow.
But we're, different mothers.
Yeah.
So
but you have 15 brothers, sisters.
Yes.
Whoa.
And 12, showed up to pay last respects and see him before he passed and everything. And I wasn't even sure I was going to go. Because a lot of my identity was wrapped up in, being born out of wedlock, my dad not, fully being there, not showing up. And again, I circle back to that island of one. When he didn't show up, that's what taught me to start, don't wait on anyone. And that's how I am. But also, it's also hurt me in a way, because it kind of, you tend to isolate yourself. You tend to only rely on yourself, but that's not how we're meant to live.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think we talk about this a lot. I think the reason that humans have come so far is we're so good at working together with each other. I think evolutionary biologists would all agree on that. Yeah. We have an uncanny ability to sort of work together, cooperate, mimic each other, learn from each other. And it's a superpower if you learn how to wield it properly in your life.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I'm constantly watching. I'm observing movement. I look at everyone. Body language is huge for me. And that's what my sister, Ashley, she always jokes. She's like, Nat, you're psychic. And I was like, no, I'm not psychic. I'm just really intuitive. Like I just notice things, the things that most people don't notice.
So, you pay attention.
I do.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I want to circle back to something you kind of skimmed over really quickly, which was you said that you wrote something down to yourself. And I have a feeling that you're someone who has kind of a lot of tools and a lot of processes at your disposal besides just showing up to the gym and training. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like, what other things do you have going on? Like when you say that you write things to yourself, like, what does that look like? What else are you doing outside of like the things that people are seeing?
So again, the consistency I was struggling with a little bit, like wavering, even though I love being here, just sometimes, it's hard.
Everybody struggles with that. If you're a person, if you're a human being, you have consistency fluctuations. Yeah. That's everybody.
Yeah.
That's why it's a journey. Yeah.
And then I tried to take suggestions from other people, journaling. That didn't work for me. But what does work is that I give myself a smiley face. I know something about bright colors. Hello. Yeah. No, bright colors, yellow, like anything, like just brings me joy. Smiling, like I know I smile a lot. I just enjoy it. Like, so I give myself a smiley face.
It's part of why you bring up the room when you step in and why people like training.
Oh, okay.
It's all the same. Yeah. That's all the same thing,
yeah.
For sure.
So I do. I watch the podcasts that you guys have. I watch YouTube a lot. I surround myself with people that I want to be like and what I want. So family structure is important to me. So I like, learning, about married people and stuff like that.
Yeah. What's your YouTube subscriber channel list look like?
Oh my goodness.
What type of topics are in there?
It's starting to take on a slightly religious perspective. I'm learning.
Has that been part of your journey?
A little bit. Like I try to talk to God, and before, I tried, and I do. I believe in myself, and I do believe in a higher power. I believe in energy and things like that, but I'm trying to understand more. Mm-hmm. So I'm not certain, fully about God.
Nobody's certain.
Yeah.
That's what's so interesting. Because I wrestle with it all the time. And I think even, I looked this up the other day. Israel means one who wrestles with God. Mm. So like even the definition is not somebody who has the answer or has arrived, but like you wrestle with this very difficult idea because it's not like clear cut. It's not like scientific, right? It's beyond that. So and it's very personal, right?
So in addition to that is more of the motiversity. I don't know if you guys heard of it's David Goggins.
Oh, yeah.
Speeches, motivational speeches.
Mm-hmm. Like the quote Bible.
Yeah.
My man Les Brown.
Yeah. So
things
like
my favorite.
That.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Arnold Schwarzenegger's 5 rules.
Oh, that's a good one too.
For success, like every morning before we came to the gym for maybe the first year that we opened. Yeah,
that's a good one.
I burned that into my brain.
Yeah. It's good. The way he delivers it is also great. It's part of it.
But that stuff's really we become the people we emulate. I think that's why mentorship is so important.
Yes.
Or modeling is so important. Like pick the people you want to be like. And maybe not, I think I messed this up when I was young. Not the stuff you want to have, but how you want to respond to things.
Yes.
Like how you want to behave under pressure or under peace. Like what type of person do you want to be?
Yes.
Because there's so much you can't control, but those things you can.
Yes. So being a good person, not walking in fear. And that's what, for a long time, and I don't know when, and that's why I was trying to figure out, when did I become timid? Because that's not me. Mm-hmm. And as the layers come off, more is being revealed to me, what I buried in myself. So it feels good. But going back to that, my why, I noticed that my younger sister, she was starting to develop some of the habits I had with the stress eating or emotional eating. And also she had started, gaining weight. But with her weight gain, it wasn't a loving thing. It was hard for her. So I knew, I know she models me. She looks up to me.
Yeah.
We're 13 years apart.
Wow.
But she's my baby.
How old are you?
37.
37. So she's like 24?
24,
okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So that is part of my why, to show her that it doesn't matter, what you've endured as a child, which she's just learning. And she's crying about it. And I told her, I'm like, don't cry. I was like, all that adversity, everything that has happened to my older sister, because my mom has 3 daughters, my older sister, myself, and then my younger sister. And then my dad has, my dad has all those other kids. But she was just saying that she didn't know, everything that we had to endure. And I told her, I was like, that doesn't matter. I was like, look where I am today. I was like, you can look at your sister, like everything I've taught her. Like my sister graduated with no debt, honors. Like she's taking her MCAT in May. Like she's taking back her health as well. And she's fit. She's fit, beautiful, like healthy.
It's helpful to know there's somebody that has more excuses than you that's doing the things that you wish you were doing. And just knowing that, because it breaks your belief about like your limiting beliefs about what you can do and what you can accomplish.
No limits.
Right. There really aren't.
Yes.
You can, if there's 9 billion people in the world, you can find somebody who's had it harder and is doing more. And that will help you look at your own life and realize like, oh, those limitations I set up for myself don't exist.
Yes.
They're not real.
And limits that people put on you. My entire life and family, like negative inputs. And when I look back to that, I just like how I was able to, 1, block it. 2, again, that changing your perspective. It's not what anybody says about you. It's what you believe in yourself, and just keep moving forward.
Yeah. And keeping yourself surrounded with people that are like building you up.
Yes.
It's helpful.
And it hasn't been easy. Like I've fallen so many times.
Yeah.
So many times. I'm telling you, 25 years of this, but 25 years of knowing that one day I'm going to be a healthier version of myself.
And I would even say like every day being a little healthier than before.
Yes.
Like that's everything.
Yes.
It's like knowing you're in this process, not that you're one day going to get there, but like today's a little better than yesterday.
It is.
And even independent of like what happens, because you learn lessons, like you said, you pay attention.
Yes.
So even if the action wasn't ideal, but you saw it happen and you learned a lesson and you took it and you added it to your arsenal of behavior. I mean, that's progress. That's moving forward.
For sure. Yeah. I think that's what we're all striving for. I think it's part of what training is. And one of the strong things that we feel that training kind of leads to outside of the gym. It's like, some of these lessons that you can learn, they're just so right in front of you in the gym that, the world is a way more complicated and difficult thing to figure out. But things in the gym are pretty structured and make sense. And it's a nice way of learning and taking that progress and just applying it to everything that you do.
Yes. And that's also why I was motivated to get back here, because again, it could have been so easy to stay in Illinois, stay another week, but I knew I need this. I need this for my mental health. I need it for my physical strength. When I don't work out, I have pain when I don't work out, not when I work out.
Me too.
So it's really important.
That's right. So people who say they can't make it down here from the Upper West Side, there's someone coming from,
Illinois, Arizona,
2,500 miles away.
Yeah.
And making it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like you said, Kyle, it's easy. It's easy to make excuses. And I think it's interesting. The people who usually have the least excuses kind of amplify them the most. And it's the person who you really see like has a lot to overcome, who's, diving into cups of sugar for a meal when they're a kid.
Mayonnaise and jelly too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then kind of figuring out a way of crawling out of what seems to be an impossible situation. I mean, those are the people that we should be inspired by and aspiring to be more like.
Yeah. So like that being said, what advice would you have for someone in your shoes a year ago?
Again, taking the limits off yourself. Just go after everything you want, always. No matter how long it takes, how many years, how much time, how much pain, how much backtracking and moving back, going back forward again. Don't ever give up on yourself. Like, you have one life to share with everyone too, which is beautiful.
So true, because we have so much to give, and you give so much every time you come into the gym.
Yeah. I like how this has come back full circle to how Antoinette's like
just
the greatest
how
training
it
partner.
started. It's like you have this in you. People like rely on you. You help everybody else in the room every time you come in to work out.
Thank you.
Don't waste that opportunity that you have to spread that light.
Thank you.
I think it's true for a lot of people that are in those shoes, like you said, that are like a year out from where you're currently at. Mm-hmm. It's like, get out into the gym, get out around.
Start
like,
small, baby steps. Baby steps.
You don't have to accomplish everything at once, but you can just get started right now, and it gets that process going. Once the process is going, you're on your way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't stress that enough, that it's literally you against yourself.
It's it.
Always.
I think that's a great place to finish.
Okay.
Antoinette, thank you so much for coming on the show. I got a lot from it. I'm excited for people to hear it.
Yeah, remarkably inspiring, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm Kyle Fields.
I'm Dan Trink.
We're from the Fort, and we take this seriously.
And we do what works.
Till next time.
It
See
works.
you then. See you.